What's up guys, VitalSyntax here, and yesterday there was a new post on the official Battlefield 4 blog. I'll put a link in the description if you want to read through the whole post, but in this video I kind of want to summarize what they talked about in that post. The main thing they were focusing on is encouraging teamwork, promoting teamwork, but never forcing it. And they talked about 3 key pillars that they're trying to improve on for Battlefield 4 coming from Battlefield 3 that are going to hopefully promote and encourage teamwork. As far as, bringing new mechanics into the gameplay, they're going to enable people to play as a team and play as a squad. So the first one is field upgrades. And I'll talk more about all these in detail in just a minute. Second one is the commander mode. And the third one is the gadgets that they've altered and changed and kind of tweaked around to hopefully promote teamwork and allow you to be a little more flexible with your class selection. So the first one is field upgrades. These are fairly similar to what we had in Battlefield 3, which were referred to as specializations, although they've kind of refined them and tweaked them. So in Battlefield 3, you obviously had things like extra ammo, extra grenades, increased suppression, decreased suppression, and a bunch of other options that you could, if unlocked and upgraded to a squad perk or a squad specialization, you could give your squad more ammo or give your squad more grenades. And often you'd have overlap where, multiple people would be running the same specialization, which is kind of a waste. And that's one of the reasons why they've brought this new system into place, but also they brought this new system into place to hopefully even more so encourage teamwork than just the idea of specializations in the first place. So essentially the way it's going to work in Battlefield 4 is as your squad gets points for their, just squad in general by reviving teammates, dishing out health, giving people ammo, playing the objective, taking squad orders, following squad orders, all this stuff is going to accumulate squad points for your squad and for your team. And as you gain more squad points, you're going to essentially fill up a meter, and as you fill up different sections of that meter, you're going to unlock new and better boosts. And that boost progression is something you can select and change. I'm not sure if that's going to be a selection that's given to the squad leader or who exactly has control over the progression of your specializations as you continue to get squad points. Now the key is that if you die and everybody else in your squad dies, essentially having a squad that's completely eliminated, you lose progress in those specializations that you have unlocked. So let's say you guys get a couple hundred points or maybe a couple thousand points and you have 3 specializations, let's say extra ammo, extra grenades, and faster sprint. And then your entire squad gets eliminated. You're going to lose progress. It's not exactly clear if you're going to have to go all the way back to the beginning with no specialization or if you're just going to use one of those specializations or maybe 2 of those specializations. They haven't talked quite exactly on that yet. Now they are going to bring some new specializations, some of the ones that are going to be returning from Battlefield 3, but they are going to show some new ones hopefully at Gamescom. We'll have to wait and see on those. But we'll see some new stuff that hopefully will allow for a little bit more options and customization. Now the second thing that I talked about with promoting and encouraging teamwork is the commander mode, and the commander mode in general is probably the biggest teamwork oriented role in the Battlefield, because essentially your entire role is to support your team. It's to give orders, it's to provide UAV, it's to provide counter UAV for enemy commander UAVs that they've called, and it's to provide the Tomahawk missile to hopefully take out heavy armor that's controlling a certain area. And in general, you're just completely playing as a team player. There's really no selfless acts that you can do playing as the commander mode unless you're trying to purposely screw over your team. And that's something that we're all still kind of concerned about is if you give a lot of control and a lot of power to some individual person, for example, the person that's using the commander role, and they, first of all, maybe aren't very experienced, or maybe they just don't want to play, or maybe they're away from their keyboard or something, that could be a huge influence on the actual team's power, and you could end up losing the game just because one person on your team wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. But that's a topic for another video. The next thing that they're doing to promote teamwork is the gadgets that they've adjusted and tweaked. So they still have the same key class and core class layout that they had in Battlefield 3. I mean, I've talked about the Battlefield 4 classes quite a bit and their new gadgets and stuff, but you still have the Recon class, Assault class, Engineer, and Support, but they've slightly altered some of the gadgets to allow them to be a little bit more versatile, a little bit more teamwork oriented. And the best example of this is the recon class with the motion mines, or the motion balls, which is something we had in Battlefield Bad Company 2, where you could essentially throw a mini UAV that would show up on your radar for you and your squad mates, point out enemy players within a certain area. And we had something similar in Battlefield 3 with the tugs and the MAV, but it was more stationary. You either had to be controlling your MAV and flying it around, which left you vulnerable and you weren't allowed to push up with your squad to capture objectives or to defend objectives. Or if you're using the tugs, you had to set it down, and if you ever needed to move or hopefully push up to an objective to defend or attack it once again, you had to pick it up, and that was kind of a pain in the ass. Whereas with these motion mines, you can throw them, you can move up, you can throw another one, you can move up, and you can also get them resupplied by a support player by dropping out. So I think that's a really good gadget that's going to support and promote teamwork. And just in general, they're doing a lot of things to hopefully balance out the classes and put a little bit less power in the assault kit and the engineer kit, and allow the support kit and the recon kit to be used as more of a viable option. You know, they're moving C4, for example, over from the support kit to the recon kit. They're nerfing the defibrillator, they're nerfing the health packs, and they're also just doing a bunch of other things in general to buff and nerf different classes in general, as well as the weapons that those classes are going to be subject to using. So anyway, that wraps up and the overview of the latest Battlefield 4 blog post over on the official Battlefield 4 blog. Once again, if you want to check out the full article, there's a link in the description if you want to read through that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to leave a like or a favorite. And if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe, because I do videos like this every day. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.